Hey guys, I'm gonna do another little vlog. Trying to get it where the light's not directly over me so I look terrible. Today's vlog is gonna be not really, well, it's kind of a rant slash vlog about some things that bother me in the doll collecting world. Now, like I said, I don't normally buy Barbies unless they're ones from like my childhood that I either had or didn't have as a child, even though I started off collecting Barbie. But there's one thing in the Barbie world that drives me completely and utterly crazy. And it drives me crazy. It's that when you go to like a flea market, yard sale, thrift store, junk shop, you get people who will have a Barbie that you know for a fact is like maybe from like 1992, anywhere from the 90s to early 2000s, right? Something like this variation of Perfume Pretty Barbie, who I put on a different head. It's a Perfume Pretty Barbie head on a different doll's body, because that's all the body I had. But what drives me nuts is, and it's not the people's fault, it's because they're not educated, they're not collectors like me, is, and you probably can't see it, but on the back of the dolls, at the base of their back, kind of like a tramp stamp, there's a marking that says Mattel Incorporated, 1966, Philippines. Now, what most people don't realize, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this because I've studied this for years, but the 1966 is the year that the patent was put into order for that particular style. Like, I know that's the Superstar Barbie body mold, but, well, the torso, but most people in the world think that, even though the Superstar Barbie didn't come out till like 75, 76, sometimes dolls are in production for years and years and years before they even see the light of day. And I know that body isn't the Superstar body, it's just the older Barbie body, but this is an actual doll from the late 60s and 70s. This is a Stacy. She is Barbie's mod friend from England. This is, I believe, just a basic bathing suit version, straight arms. She has a swivel waist that goes from side to side, that doesn't go from side to side. It goes in an upward motion, like that. And you can tell real vintage dolls, because the ones from, I believe, 70s up until now have the marking at the base of their back. The older Barbies have it right here on their butt. And this one just says 1966, Mattel, U.S. patent pending, which means that this is an original 66 body, because the patent is still pending. The patent has not been approved yet, but it's pending. The following year, the patent would get approved. But this is a real vintage Barbie. Well, Barbie friend. So that's one of the things that really bothers me, because you'll walk in and a flea market, yard sale, anything, people go, oh, that's a vintage doll. It's from 1966. It's from 1959. That's an original Barbie. And in your head, you're like, what? No. That doll is from like 1995. Because, in 60s and 70s, they had faces like that with real eyelashes, quality. And then you get into like 80s and 90s and you have like anime face. Kind of solid colored eyes. And her eyes are like purple, blue. And then she's got the blue eyeshadow, the whole 9 yards. And she's got that big toothy grin. That's the Superstar head mold. And that's the thing that just drives me nuts, because then they're like, oh, that's like $25, that's $50 or $20, or some price that you're like, that doll's naked, it's missing a leg and an arm. Oh, well, it's vintage. No. And well, I've only really argued with a vendor one time enough to get kicked out of a flea market, because I was young. I was in my 20s, and I was just like, no, you're wrong. And let me tell you why you're wrong and stupid. And I realize now that was not the appropriate way to handle the situation. However, that just drives me crazy. I see that. I'll pick it up, and like they'll immediately jump in. Oh, that's vintage. She's this and this price because she's old. And I'll just kind of roll my eyes and smile and put the doll down, and just in my head, just like, oh, it's not. Oh, why? Educate yourself. Now, me being me, I have, anytime there's any doll book, I find any doll book, magazine, anything, I will read it cover to cover addictively. I can't help it. I just like, even if it's a doll I don't care about, like it's a book on focusing on one doll, I learn about it, because you never know, I might run into it at anywhere. You could find hard to find and high-end collectible dolls and toys anywhere. Any flea market, yard sale, anything. Mom cleaning out her kid's basement, and you find like something that's worth like $1,000, and you pay like $1 for it. It happens. That's something that drives me crazy. Now, the other thing that recently has been driving me crazy, and I think a lot of people in the doll world are with me on this. I don't know why Mattel is trying to like kill the Barbie line. Barbie's like one of the oldest dolls still in production, other than like Madame Alexander dolls and everything. But Madame Alexander dolls are not necessarily play line. They are collector dolls. I know they have now the 18-inch dolls, but those are meant to be played with, and they are posable. But I don't get it. Like, they make the dolls cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and then they charge you more and more and more. I don't get it. I mean, back in the day, this was your basic Barbie body, basic Barbie doll. This would be anywhere between $2.99 to $5.99, depending on how she was dressed. With that, you got a doll that, look, she could move her waist. Granted, she didn't have, some of them had the jointed elbows and wrists, but look, bendy knees. For those of you who are really young and don't remember, that Barbie used to have the pop and lock knees. She was the first doll on the market to have a bendable knee like this. Can you hear it? That's the classic Barbie sitting pose. Instead of Barbie just sitting stiffly, she could sit in a chair, she could sit in a car, she could sit on your shelf like a lady. Nowadays, you pay $20 or more for a playline doll, and her legs only go up and down like that, and her arms only go up and down, and her waist doesn't even move. And the moment you start to brush their hair, like right out of the box, oh wow, look at that, all the hair starts falling out because it was glued in. Dolls like Stacy here and Barbie's up until the early 2000s, their hair, all the dolls have rooted hair, but this one does not have glue in her head. See how you can squish her head? They actually had an interlocking system inside the head, so the hair would get rooted in and it'd go under. There'd be a needle inside and a needle going. There'd be one on the inside, one on the outside, and it would root into the head, locking it into place. So you can brush it and brush and brush it. And this was not. She was not going to lose her hair. You could, and her hair is still soft to the touch, has vibrant color, but you'd have to cut her hair off to lose her hair. Nowadays, you have dolls like the DC superhero girls. Look at this. I cannot budge her head. This is solid. And, yeah, it's soft. It's saran hair. But if you get the doll and you start brushing it out, she's going to lose a lot of hair. She's going to have a lot of fallout. And you're going to pay $20 for these new dolls that, you know, are all great because Barbie is curvy now, or tall, or petite, which is great. You know, there needs to be body diversity in the doll world. You know, other than, you know, tiny waist, big boobs. You know, they can have big boobs and big waist. All that's great. All I ask is, if you're going to spend $20 or more on a doll, give them some jointed legs. Let them sit down. Don't make them so stiff. I mean, and all hard plastic. Your clothes are so easy to use now. It's just one solid Velcro strip down the back half the time. It's not like you have to pull the dresses up over the doll's body. You know, it's not like it takes a rocket scientist to dress the damn thing. Why are you trying to ruin it? I mean, even this one, same basic principle as that body. You know, except her waist didn't curve up. She's just side to side. Kids could play with this doll. They could sit her down. They could, you know, put her shoes on. You know, they could, you know, make her walk and pick up things like they used to do. Nowadays, she just stands there. That's it. And the other thing that really drives me nuts is, you know, you spend like half the price of the doll on an outfit. And you're like, that's a really pretty dress. Wow, I love the floral pattern and the late trim top. And then you turn it around, they are too cheap to even silk screen the back. Or like the new fashionistas. There's this one that I really, really wanted, and she is an African American doll, and she comes in this beautiful little skirt that's yellow and it's pleated. And I'm thinking, wow, they did a really great job on this, until I saw J Squared's review of her and saw that the pleating only goes from side to side. It's like she's meant to never be taken out of the box. I don't know why you're doing this. And then for like $24, you can buy a Mattel DC Superhero Girl or a Monster High doll, and look, bendable legs, bendable wrists, bendable elbows, shoulders, even at her breastplate and her head for $24. I would much rather, if I were to ever buy Barbie again, put her on a body like this, for God's sake, Mattel. Why are you taking the one line that's like so strong for you for so many decades? So many people love her. Why are you trying to kill her off? I mean, you had a semi-good thing going when you had that Barbie web series, Life in the Dream House. Those dolls they weren't my favorite because, you know, quite honestly, their resting faces were kind of weird. Like, Raquel's probably my favorite, but then you get the doll and she's got this weird smirk on her face. No. Put a normal Steffi head mold on her, black hair, you're golden. But it bothers me to no end. I don't know why they do that.